Corey, it's the podcast, and we have a podcast guest. Just like the last podcast, we film this, we record this out of order. So Corey and I are going to pretend we don't know what just happened.
But I do want to give you a little taste test if you're listening and you think this is just like all the other 5 million podcasts that we've done. Taylor is a unique perspective when it comes to cookie decorating because she's just under a year. November will be her 1-year anniversary, but she actually works a day job that utilizes a lot of AI and artificial intelligence. She's in UX design. Heather, just explain what UX design is. It's more of a,
when you go to log into your bank account, right?
Yes.
And you naturally look to the right side for this and to the left side for a menu and to the top menu for various account stuff. And you know that your profile has your password settings. That is UX, user experience. And when UX is out of whack, you find yourself confused as where things naturally would be. And when UX is intact, like you said, nobody notices it.
Yeah, UX design sounds like, we need a big degree for that. My job would never entail it. It actually is in every single job. It's just to different degrees. So you as a bakery business have a UX design that you utilize to make your customers happy, whether it be a follow-up email, a form to help them on the form where, like I've had Heather move. It used to be that you had to fill out all the information and then my calendar was at the bottom. I found that was frustrating to customers because they filled out all of the information, took the time, and then their date was grayed out. So we moved that to the top. That is user and generated design.
Yeah, user experience. So what we have Taylor, who has a day job, and then she uses the cookie business as her side job. She'll be our interview. And before we jump into that, we're the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. You can find this all on our website, sugarcookiemarketing.com. So any of the things I talk about here, if you want to snag past Wednesday newsletters, they're there. If you want to see what's upcoming in form of events or these boot camps that we talk about or collabs when we do them, which we've tabled on for a minute, you can also find that on the sugarcookiemarketing.com website, including I'll be talking more about the Vendy Blendy in the next couple weeks and then months. And then it'll be the end of the year. And then it'll be next year. And then it'll be the year following.
Don't say it. The time is rushing by. Do you have a quote for us?
A quote? Yeah. So it's kind of speaking back to just getting started, right? Because there's, Taylor's like, when she had applied to be on the podcast, she was like, well, I'm not sure if I have anything to add. I'm new. But we're like, that's everything to add. You're new, you're hungry, you're fresh, you want this. You're not jaded by years of clients beating you up. So my quote is Mark Twain, the secret to getting ahead is just getting started, which is something I got to take myself. Every time I do something, I'm like, I suck. I'm a loser.
Oh, yeah.
Have to be a loser to be a winner.
I gotta be a loser to be a winner.
So what's coming up is Corey just dropped the lemon cookie class kit. We're back to our beginner, our 6 cookies, 4 icings,
4-ish icings. 4-ish icings.
This one did have 4 icings.
The next one will have 5. I couldn't squeeze it out with 4.
Well, you squeezed it out with the lemons, which is all that matters. So the lemon cookie class kit is everything you need to plan, promote, and teach an in-person cookie class. Just add you, the dough, and order the cutters, which we include the links for. The Procreate Bootcamp is next week. It's getting started with designing sets in Procreate, which you need an iPad and an Apple Pencil. And I'll tell you which app to download during that bootcamp. And then I am working, and I got Corey's approval on it, on my digital downloads series. So it's these 7 downloadable printable files. I'm doing a thank you home care team. So my last one is thank you to the trash guys. This month is thank you to the mailmen. And I know everyone's like mail women and trash women. Okay, whatever. Thank you to the people keeping the house moving forward. So I just got Corey to approve the mail person one.
It's super cute.
Yeah, I'll be dropping it later today.
Super adorable.
So we're going to jump into the interview with Taylor. And then after that, we'll go through kind of our housekeeping stuff. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Taylor, it is so great to have our second podcast interviewee. I gotta tattle on myself. Taylor has submitted the form to be featured on the podcast last week. And I said, hey, I got you. Now that you're into this, could I get you on the next week? Because I really liked what she had sent in her application. So Taylor, tell them who you are, and then I'm going to read what you submitted last week. So tell us your backstory, where you're located, anything about them, kind of just to give us some backstory, and then I'll jump into reading this.
Yeah, sure. So I'm in the Chicago suburbs. My suburb is called Lake Bluff. I'm about, an hour outside of Chicago. My background is in product design for the public sector. So my experience is designing digital products for public services. So the products that I work on are not profit driven, it's more mission driven. And yeah, so that's one reason why I really liked the podcast is because I'm not used to working on things that are the goal is to make money. So
Right.
um so yeah, and I was postpartum after my second baby, and I was really having a hard time with postpartum anxiety, and I've always loved to draw and paint and be creative as long as I can remember. And I was I would really enjoy watching TikTok videos of people flooding
Gateway
cookies.
drug. Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's something like very satisfying about like a very smooth flood. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I can do that. Maybe that would be like a nice little hobby to get me off of my phone doom scrolling. And yeah, I mean, at first, I'm sure as a lot of other hobby bakers, I was just doing it for friends and family. And then my older daughter, she's in preschool. I was making some cookies for her preschool class, and she was like, "Oh, do you sell these?" So I first started really selling. I did like a partnership with the preschool where I would be like, Easter, pre-sale or something like
Oh,
that.
nice.
Uh,
You hit the ground running. You had a partnership right off the bat. That's a dream.
She's like, doom
It was a
scrolling.
great idea. Yeah. And I would do, 20% back to the preschool. And
Nice.
I only did it really for Easter, and for May, I did Teacher Appreciation and Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, next year, yeah, upcoming in September, I think I'll probably do like a back to school and, Halloween, I'll do that too. She
Have
was really excited about it.
I'm
So
sure. Have you seen like
really.
a lot of us have never been able to crack the code on partnerships so that it just kind of, happened to you. Do you find that the 20% back to the mothership is worth it when it comes to sales? Like, do they bring enough people to your audience, to your pre-sales that 20% is like a no-brainer?
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, I do charge about 20% more than I normally do to even
Smart. Nice.
and I've gotten several orders from other preschool moms for, baptisms, birthdays, things like that. So it's also helped me kind of like grow who my audience is. And I think people really like to give back to the preschool too.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
And
A
yeah,
win all the way around really does well.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I've
totally.
got to
So
redo her backstory because she's got this crazy start into the cookies, and it's not what you expect. You couldn't possibly guess it. So
I
she
don't know
submitted
if I
this.
wrote
She
about
said,
that, but my background really is tech, and I love my job in tech. But
You've
yeah,
had through like a couple rebirths here, just even judging by these few paragraphs. But let me read them and then we're going to
sure, sure,
just
sure.
run through this. My journey into cookie decorating comes from a lifelong artistic foundation. I love to draw and paint since I can remember. I wanted to be an art major in college, but my parents steered me toward user experience, not UX design degree. But here's the funny part. Before cookies, I previously had a commission painting side hustle, painting whimsical pet portraits primarily. A customer's cat playing the drums for his favorite band, a dog playing for a customer's favorite hockey team, or a fancy dog drinking a cocktail. Unfortunately, the side hustle became unfeasible when I started having babies. I have got to see some of these photos.
Yeah, you're gonna have to show us some of these
Oh,
paint
sure. Well, it's on
portraits.
my website. I think I sent you my website. So I
Oh,
have like a
perfect.
design portfolio website that I just kind of like put my cookies on the end of it just because it was a really low lift
Sure.
way. And I
Can
did
I give the in the newsletter, can I show them one of these whimsical
oh,
pet
go for
portraits?
it. Yeah.
Perfect. I
Which
know I'm
one
putting you on
takes
the spot here.
longer, a dozen of decorated cookies or a cat playing a drum set painting?
Oh, the cat playing a drum set, and you don't make as much, and there's no dehydrator with
You
painting.
just speed it up. Yeah.
So you really have to wait, and the timing's really important. And that's what became really hard is, if like the painting is really wet, you can't iterate on it. You have to kind of wait until it's like a middle state.
Ah.
Yeah, interesting.
Cookies, just pop it in the dehydrator and you can do
Speed that puppy up. We're on a roll.
I love this. Just reading on, I picked up cookie decorating when I was struggling with postpartum anxiety with my second baby. I found it to be a wonderful creative outlet, very therapeutic, and it got me away from doom scrolling. I decorated a few sets for my preschoolers class, and the preschool director saw them and was very encouraging. She approached me with the idea to partner with a preschool for pre-sales and give 20% of the proceeds back to the preschool. From there, I was able to grow my portfolio, get other custom orders from preschool moms, and grow my social media. I also work full time as a product designer with specialized experience in AI tools, which is why I loved your application because I think it's a great thing. As a product designer, my day to day is listening to users or customers, honing in on what they need, and translating that into concepts for digital experiences while mitigating risk. Immediately hired. If I had a position, I'd hire you based off of this. I use that same framework with my customers when designing cookies. I believe for the podcast, I could provide a lot of insight to listeners on how to scale human-centered design practices into their cookie business. I can also speak to cookiers how to leverage tech and AI tools to help with their process. Example, run lean experiments to mitigate risk and then scale what works. I love this. Finally, she says, as someone who works with AI, I believe that the world is craving human-created products and really tired of AI slop. With that said, AI is not something that will replace cookiers, but a tool to help cookiers do the best job possible when embraced. That last sentence is exactly what I think the messaging around this kind of has to be. I was listening to a TikTok this weekend. It wasn't doom scrolling. I was positively scrolling. And someone said anyone who does see the optimism in like kind of embracing AI is called a sloptimist. Call me a sloptimist.
I think it's so interesting. A lot of bakers hear the two letters AI and they totally put their arms up. I don't want to listen anymore. I'm anti AI. I don't want to hear anymore about it. The problem is now more and more apps. Like if you like Canva, when you're in Canva, I have the pop-ups like, do you want AI? Do you want me to help you? I'm right here. Do you need me? And if I log into my Gmail account, it's saying, hey, do you want us to make this sound like you didn't just graduate third grade? It's literally everywhere. But I see so many people are off put by it. And the AI flyers, the overuse of AI in community groups, I can see where people are like, we want the human touch back in it. That's why it's so interesting to get your perspective. AI can be a tool that can really create more efficient business practices. You have less time that you're focusing on, using your electronics. It can help you in the back end by still having you the face of your business. And people buy from those they know, like, and trust, but it doesn't mean that you can't be aided by AI in the background, especially if it's helping your business. I agree. You shouldn't like make AI the forefront of your business because we want people to know the difference between me and the baker down the road. I'm the secret ingredient in my business.
Oh, well, I have a little extra dash of corn.
If you didn't know, if you want my secret recipe, it's right here. You're looking at it.
So Taylor, you said you're running these lean experiments. I would love to know how you're trying it out, saying like this works, this doesn't. And then you mentioned a couple of times mitigate risk, and I would love to know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna start by in product design. We want to be solving problems, and that's how we prioritize our work as tech organizations. It's the same way, like Netflix, Facebook, Canva, like any tech organization really operates. So you want to be solving your biggest problems first and also pivoting when a bigger problem does come up. Totally okay and normal to pivot and be comfortable pivoting. So I was really, the problem I was solving was around differentiating myself from other cookiers and trying to bring something different that other cookiers in my area weren't bringing. So I was really focusing on painting and watercolor painting on my cookies because I do have that painting background. But then it came up during graduation that my customer experience could have used some improvement. So
Interesting. Somebody said this to you?
well, so I think probably like most cookiers listening, I got like 1,000 orders for graduation. And my process was somebody reaches out on a date, theme, whatever. And then I immediately put it in my spreadsheet. And then once it's in my spreadsheet, I'm like, good to go. So I had someone reach out. She wanted, I think 6 dozen cookies, 2 different colleges for a joint graduation party. And, I was like, okay, like what date? And she told me the date, like, are you available then? I was like, yeah, I can do that. So she went into my spreadsheet and I did not talk to her again until, when I had the cookies done.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I got some cookies for you. This is pickup information. And she was like, oh, I thought you ghosted me. I ordered from somebody else.
No way. 6 dozen?
Yeah, 6 dozen. And so I quickly pivoted from, learning how to paint to improving my customer experience so this doesn't happen again. Um, I ended up showing her the cookies and she bought half of them at
Oh,
a
nice.
discounted rate because she liked them so much. So
Nice.
at least
Hey,
that was good.
you saved it. At least that was at least 3 dozen to a new home.
Yeah, and I gave the rest to my family and they loved their Michigan State and Spelman College. So it worked out fine. So from there, I'm like, okay, I really need to improve my customer experience because if this customer is having this problem, chances are somebody else is too.
Sure,
So,
sure.
looking back at my conversation with her, even though I was the last one to send a message, she asked me over a date. I said yes. Like, what I did was not aligning with her expectations as a customer. So, um, after that, for my next graduation order, which was literally next week, I followed up with, I had 2 different orders and I sent them a message, like before I started baking. And I was like, hey, just this is what I have planned for you. I just typed out, I'm gonna do like a circle shape with a logo and this and that. And, these are my ideas. Let me know what you think. And um it was just really an easy, lean way to just
Confirm it so
before
both people know.
yeah,
I like
before I started baking.
I like that you keep using the word lean because you're like, what's the minimum? What's the
Yeah,
minimum I can
exactly.
do
What's
here?
something
Which,
really easy I can do that will
yeah,
solve
without
this.
overcomplicating it. Me, as somebody who absolutely loves to overcomplicate things, I love this. Taking this back to
So I got really positive feedback from my customers from just doing that. And they were like, oh, we love your ideas. And one of the customers initially, well, I typically do 5 to 6 designs per
Order,
order
yeah.
because I'm just like have so many ideas. Because I just love doing this so much. It might be a little too much and I might scale it down, but that's a different
go on,
conversation.
Wayne, go get it. Go get it out of the way.
So yeah, at first he was like, oh, we don't need 6, maybe 2. Like it's fine. But then I shared my ideas and he was like, do your thing. We're so excited about this. And then so again, really lean, easy way to mitigate that problem from happening again. I also think maybe collecting a deposit would help. I do have, and like, you know, people collect deposits and it's really helpful for them. I do think it discourages people from paying in cash, which is an assumption. And I love when people pay in cash. So that's the reason why I haven't done that. And, maybe they do the deposit in cash or in, Venmo or whatever and pay the rest in cash. I don't know. But I just haven't,
No,
since this, I haven't had the need to collect a deposit yet. So I
that
haven't.
that's a differentiator right in and of itself. A lot of bakers don't do that, so that you have that opportunity that someone, cookies are, an investment and they are a luxury item, but a lot of people, are working paycheck to paycheck. They don't always have the funds available at the time of booking. So that is a differentiator that I see works for a lot of bakers, even if that's something you keep moving on, take a smaller deposit.
I
I like that you're
that like with every great thing, it's a pass off. There's nothing that's 100% the
no.
solution. So yeah,
Right.
people, I take a deposit, I do payment up front, which is what we preach. But at the pass off is you're not getting somebody who's like, can I do, those people who are like, well, I'm not sure if you're going to rip me off. So let's do like this thing.
Yeah.
You were able to secure that. So at the end of the day, Corey says she hates when people say that, but at the end of the day, at the
No,
end
I
of the
say it all
day,
the time. That's why I love it.
when the day ends, when the day ends, you have the strategy. And we're always talking about standing out with between other bakers. And you kind of see, and I was saying we like to look through your Bambi new doughy eyes. Is that bakers who have been burned typically move to the full payment at time of booking to reserve it? I'm not going to get taken again. I'm not going to be screwed over. But then you have this like, hey, like I'm willing to take this risk to secure the order. I'm a little bit more flexible. I've not been burned so much.
Yeah.
I
Also,
I
Taylor,
like it.
I want to compliment you on the fact that you did have not the last laugh, the last point of contact with the lady. And you could go back and be like, well, look right here. I said, yes, I'd take your order. Why did you think I wouldn't? That you looked internally and said, hey, that wasn't enough for this customer. Thank goodness she bought the 3 dozen and my family enjoyed the other 3 dozen. Let me go back to the drawing board to see. That's huge. I see that a lot of bakers pass that up and they want to say, it wasn't me. It's always the customer. They shouldn't have done that. Not on me. That you could take that internally, which is hard to do. Let me tell you.
That is because of my human-centered design background, and that is kind of like the core of what human-centered design is. And I know I've heard you all say this on the podcast, just you are not your customer. So, something you might do when interacting with a business is going to be different from people you might be selling to. And again, I said this before, if like this was this lady's expectations, chances are it's going to be somebody else's too. So, just with customer interactions and things like that and how you approach your business, just take the ego out of it and
Man, girl, I'm in.
just
I'm in.
reiterate.
And the podcast right there. Just that's it.
Take the ego out of
Ego out of it. Yeah, ego is one of the worst tasting ingredients in cookies, I think. But there's that positive ego where like I'm going to push myself. This is going to be the best that I've ever done. The client's going to have a great time. And then there's that ego where it pits you against the client, as in you don't know what you're talking about. I'm the best, and I understand. And it's time in that kind of builds those. And Corey and I always say, once you hate your clients, you can never come back. You have just opened it wide open for all competition. Your clients are what keeps the lights on. Yes, they're frustrating. No, they're not always right, despite what the twins sound like. I'm just saying, don't hate them, work with them. And then we have a bunch of different personalities mixed in there and how you think, and you sound very systematized. And how that, creative, flowy person's like, I've had this crazy idea. Turns out, if I told you I want my cat driving a car, sipping an espresso martini, you'd be like, absolutely, I'll do that.
I can do it. I can do that. So you've been in business for what, roughly a year, a little over a year?
Since November.
Congratulations, you're almost at the 1 year.
Yeah, getting there. But yeah, I mean, I think this example of just sending the email, again, that's in product design. That's what we'll call a lean slice. So you try something really easy and then find what works, scale from there. So how I've scaled that is I've turned it into a template in Canva, very easy to edit it. I also put the things I want to edit in bright red because I accidentally sent a template with the wrong name on it once. So now,
listen, I caught Heather doing that last week.
I was lean slicing it. Okay. Got myself lean slice.
That's like a much smaller problem, putting the wrong name on something than, making 6 dozen cookies and the
person the wrong name
accepting or getting an order from somebody else. So I mean, I think that's a really good example of, doing something very easy, low lift, and then scaling what works. Because also, once that worked and once my customers really appreciated that, then I iterated to like, okay, I'm going to make a template and put it in my notes app. I'm going to copy and paste it to my email. And then that became kind of like tedious and cumbersome. So it's like, I'm going to make a template in Canva, and I'm also going to add, my policies and delivery if they want to pay for that, and wrapping options and things like that. So kind of like common questions that people might have. I'm like, okay, here's a quote. If you want it wrapped, it's an extra whatever per cookie.
Yeah.
And so solving a couple other little problems of me just constantly typing answers to things that
I love like
ask.
checking your own friction points, right? And Corey knows I loved like let's go sit down and take this back to the drawing board. But like finding like where I'm spending more time than I'm happy with and saying like, what can I do? I try to live my life this way. So I've turned my basement storage closet into a tiny, tiny Costco. A Costco. And I was like, how can I configure the shelving so that it's accessible on all three sides? And then how can I see what's in each bin? So it's kind of like, yeah, because I'm spending time looking for stuff. And once I read this book, and it was like, if you spend 15 minutes, it was an older book. So it was like the husband spent 15 minutes a day looking for his checkbook. But over the course of 15 minutes, and he did it twice a day over the whole year, he was spending just almost like a week of his life looking for this one thing if he had just created an optimization where the checkbook always sits right here. Now, moving into the AI, which it kind of feels like it incorporates so well into these friction points, where have you been able to incorporate it in your bakery to just, shorten the mental load?
Well, I think very similarly to user experience design, the better the AI is, the less you see it.
Yeah.
It's like a very common saying in user experience design is, the best experience are people like don't know that a person's job is to make this experience good. So I think the same is with AI because, people will see an AI flyer on their Facebook and just roll their eyes and scroll right past it. So um, AI, you can think of it as like the smartest PhD student you'll ever meet, but with the common sense of a 5-year-old. And he
You know
really
what? You've been talking to the same AI I have.
So, I mean, when AI first came out, there was a baker who made pizzas, and I think they were having trouble getting the cheese to stick to the pizza. So they asked AI, like, how can I, what are some ways I can get the cheese to stick to the pizza better? And the AI responded with, like, why don't you try some glue? So
Yeah.
you
AI
can,
said,
That's a
listen,
great idea.
AI's always like that friend who's like, well, I'm not sure if it works or not. You just should try it out yourself. It's always
yeah,
like, might make
some
mistakes.
glue on and maybe and you can kind of see where the AI came up with that. It's been trained on just like the internet, and the internet says, you
Glue
can
sticks, man.
it sticks,
Glue is
it
sticky.
works.
It will
But the
work.
common sense person would know that you're not going to put glue on pizza. So, also having that in the back of your head while it is providing answers to you. And I think just knowing that, it's really important to ask it like and prompt it. Because it's like it's trained on the internet. It doesn't know what's in your head. Um, so giving it a lot of context is really important, and asking it questions in a way where it's going to give you a better answer that is more specific to you. So like if I am want to make a flyer for, a pre-sale or something, there's a framework. It's called CARE. It's really easy to
Right.
think of as an acronym. The C is for context. So you're giving it as much context as possible. Like I have to create a flyer for, you know, teacher appreciation or something. My style is whimsical, painterly, bougie, not stuffy. My customer is typically somebody aged between, upper 20s, lower 40s, and um, this is what I want. This is my style. And really being very verbose is important.
For
A
both. I
in
like it.
the A in the acronym is for action. What exactly do you want it to do? I want you to make a flyer promoting these cookies. Maybe you've like pre-baked your cookies and attached a screenshot, and this is what the pricing is. And again, just just being very verbose. R is for rules, so telling it exactly what to do, what not to do, giving it some constraints, telling it what to do is really important, but also telling it not what to do and not what you want is just equally as important. And then E is for examples. Like I attach screenshots a lot of like, I like this, not that.
Oh, interesting.
And that's also really, really helpful. I mean,
Again,
my
you're doing the what you like and what you don't like.
exactly. It's just as helpful to say, I don't like this. So, I mean, I have literally attached screenshots of generic AI flyers, and I'm like, I hate this.
Can you
don't
get it?
do what you're really good at here. I don't like it.
Can you get it to
And I'm
not
like,
look like that brushstroke torn
right.
paper font? Have you been able to get it to do that? To not do that?
And sometimes if it does do that, I will take like specific elements that it generates and I'll be like, can you isolate like this one thing in a PNG? And then I'll bring that over to Canva.
You really get
Oh,
it to
interesting.
go. I like this.
And that also makes it more like you and not like the AI. AI can give you all the things in the world, but it can never replace like what your personal taste is. And that's what you need to bring as somebody who's using it. So, I mean, I'll say a trick to do that because my prompts are very long when I'm prompting AI. A really good trick is to talk to it and not type. Because naturally you're just gonna say more when you're talking.
Oh, I never even thought to talk to it. I'm
Oh,
just a typer.
I mean, who wants to sit there and just,
No, you're
type
right.
you
novel
should see
and
me asking about my exes. I've never had my fingers move fast.
Heather won't stop talking about her
Uh,
exes.
I am getting multiple AIs up in it. So a really good trick is talk to type. You tend to talk very conversationally, and you talk more. Yes, I do.
right. Yeah,
I
exactly.
like that.
So, yeah, I mean, my husband's always like making fun of me because I'm
Well,
just like talking to my computer.
tell him if
But
he had great
sometimes
ideas, you would
I
have
get
talked to
better
him.
If you were as useful as AI, I'd talk to you, honey.
results.
You have a PhD? No, but you do act like a 5-year-old. So
Yeah. What I've found with AI, it's actually humbled me and made me maybe a little bit better to talk to my son is AI is very literal. So if I'm like outline this, but I'm meaning like outline the whole image, it's like put a line through it. And I'm like, that I see where you got that from. That's not what I meant. So I'm like, how am I talking to people in my life? Like I'm telling them like half of this, the problem, and they're giving me half of the solution.
let me tell
Heather
you,
would know.
that is
Heather would
correct.
know.
Sometimes I take work. Read back to what you wrote. How would I know which part of this you want me to change based off of what you wrote right there? That was very,
We
very
share a brain telepathy. You're supposed to know what I'm
She
thinking.
doesn't like something on what I just did. A way that I've used AI, even yesterday, is Corey made a reel and I asked her to transcribe it. I can tell both of us didn't want to transcribe her reel. So
You got that
I
kind of.
used an AI. I said, could you just transcribe this and then pull out these aspects of it that I need? And it was like, here you go in 3 seconds. And I was like, shoot, thank you so much. Without the
I already know that would have taken me no less than 45 minutes, and I would have gotten so frustrated trying to listen to myself as I'm trying to
Hey guys.
transcribe it.
Okay,
Hey,
Taylor,
I'm
question. So I could tell by reading your write-up, and tell me if I'm wrong. You 100% wrote that.
Oh, yeah, 1000%.
Do you use AI in copy at all? And if so, how do you make it sound like not AI?
I will give it sometimes just like bullet point thoughts that I
Okay.
have. And I never copy and paste when it's copy. I always type it myself. And when I'm typing it, I change it to be my own.
There you go, guys. There,
nice.
that is a massive way to get the framework. I was uh I was interested. I was researching a little bit of AEO, answer engine optimization, because I understand like even I'm using AI in forms of questions. So I had asked it, I was like, how do I get you to pick me? I'm a pick me. How do I get you to pick my website? And it was like, oh, this. It was like specifically, we won't pick our own writing. The AI thought because it has very fluffy content. But when you start using definitive things, I was like, okay, great. Well, I want to write these blog posts. So create me a content pillar of H1s and supporting H2s, but I'll write the content. So it was like, okay, this is what I think you should write if you want to be chosen by AI. And I was like, okay, but I'll incorporate just how I sound, my personality, and my specifics within the content. Of course, it's a ton more work on my end, but I'm like, well, it
Well,
sounds like us, me.
just to plug into AI and have it spit out a
Hey,
2,000 word blog post that you
well,
don't even have to proofread, it would be Taylor. Do you agree in the sense that AI has its place in business, but to just use it as the starting point versus the ending point?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, one thing I do is, talking about lean experiments, it's very cheap to use it for iteration. Like if I have a cookie that is baked, flooded, dried, and I have a couple different ideas for what I want to do with it, I'll take a picture of my blank cookie and I'll be
Okay.
like, can you give me 4 or 5 different options? These are my ideas. Can you visualize that for me? And then I'll like pick from those options. Like, or, I think I did one last week. It was like a lemon bridal theme, and it was like a background pattern on a plaque with like a shape and then the wedding date on it.
Yeah.
And I had a couple different ideas for what the shape should be. Should it be a rectangle, an oval,
Hmm.
done? And I had it generate images of all those things so I could see what it looked like before I committed to actually like piping it on the cookie. Because if I, again, very risky, if I didn't like it, then, maybe I have to scrape it off. And I had a painted background pattern on
Yeah.
the cookie, it would have ruined the cookie. So, or I would have to go with a design that I would look at and be like, oh, this would have been a great cookie.
This ruined it. I
You know,
hate this
I,
one.
I just did something different. I actually like the idea in my head that I was leaning towards. I went with a different idea because I liked how it looked better because I was able to visually see different options of what it looked like and pick my favorite from there. So again, just a very cheap way to iterate, in the past, like before this, if I didn't have AI to do that, I might make like extra cookies and try different things.
Ah,
Yeah.
saving
Which,
time and money and
yeah,
thought
exactly.
power.
Which is, you're spending ingredients on it, you're using icing, you're spending time to like try different things. Maybe even drawing it, but drawing is just not gonna look the same as a cookie.
Mm.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah, yeah.
translate the same. As someone who doesn't draw, I have
Yeah,
not
it
one
doesn't look at all
artistic
like anything. Corey
quality
has
in mind.
one specific cartoony face she's drawn our whole life. So whenever I think of drawing, I just think of that cartoony face. She always
I
put
could
it on
draw
the
right now
oranges.
if you needed to with my eyes closed.
Oh,
No, but that's so true to utilize it to showcase. I mean, that saves time, money. Time surf because I'm not creative in those aspects. I can't just think of something. I'm looking online at like
mhm.
graphics on Shutterstock, anything to like tickle my brain in a way where like I kind of like the way that looks. So you're right. It can streamline the process of designing the cookies.
And like sometimes if I'm feeling a creative block, I had like a pool party theme that I just delivered last week, and I was kind of feeling a bit of a creative block. So I was like, generate 10 different cookies in different shapes that say, happy birthday, Tina, on a pool party scene. And I don't even think I ended up going with any of the ones that it generated, but it just kind of like jumps my brain
Triggered
to come up
that,
with
Yeah.
like, oh, that is a good starting point. And I'll
I think
jump.
I like took some from one and the other, and I sent it photos of the birthday party invitation, and a lot of times I will send screenshots with my conversation with the customer,
Oh, nice.
just giving it that extra context because like I'm not gonna, sit. Why would I sit there and like read out loud my conversation with the customer because I'm not typing it when I could just take a screenshot and upload it.
Smart.
So yeah, and it just kind of like again jump started my brain. And my favorite design in that set is the versions that say happy birthday Tina on it.
No
So
way. Nice.
yeah, I'll post it in I don't know, maybe like a week or so.
Love it.
I
I
can't
wish
wait.
it
I
was
can't wait.
Tina. Okay, I have a Q&A group of questions. Before I get there, I'm just curious, since you do have this graphic design background, you do have this use of AI as a tool, and now you're in this baking business. What is your take on dead internet theory?
I don't even know what that is.
It is the AI generating stuff that other AI generated, that other AI generated, meaning that eventually AI will
Mhm.
crowd out the space that humans created on the internet. And is that a factor, or do the humans step back and stop using AI to generate their own blog posts and they go back to generating? Because right now, the beginning of AI, it's pulling from this huge grouping of
I mean,
human
the
generated
internet's been
content.
around what for
1990,
yeah,
92.
decades. So it's got a
I was
lot.
learning how to talk before I talked to the AI back
It's
then.
got a lot of context to pull from. People have been uploading to the internet for years upon years upon years. But eventually, the more that AI is pushed out, the more that people use AI, will AI just start pulling from AI? And we
Right.
end up with a very fluffy, generic
Yeah.
internet.
I mean, I think if people are using AI to, so I use AI a lot with my job in user experience design. I will interview users and find what they like and don't like about products I design. And there's been times when I've had just like notes on notes on notes with like 10 different conversations with users, and I'll have it help me synthesize. I'm still synthesizing myself. Like I still will group things myself and do the write up myself, but again, it just kind of like it might help me cluster like themes that are the same or things like that. So I mean, I think as long as people are doing that extra step to keep the human in the loop,
Yeah.
it's not, the process is, the human does something, the AI does something, the human
Yeah.
does something.
I like it. I like that you did the human sandwich. It was like I started with a
Thank
human,
you.
I ended with one. But in the middle, AI helped with the organization, the thought, the streamlining, the ideas, and then you incorporate yourself back again. I think a lot of bakers who definitely take the stance of like AI is the death of this and AI is the end and it's the worst could stand to listen to that aspect of use it as a tool. Yes, I agree that the bakers who are generating the image and then using AI to write the copy and then just posting that without even a second thought is the definition of AI slop a little bit, which I think you mentioned in one of your write-ups is that it's not the replacement for the baker, but it is the tool for the baker that wants to put themselves at an edge, like a cutting edge. Like your ability, even just my ability to transcribe that video Corey made in seconds versus 20 minutes with the typos, it was like, wow, I bought 20 minutes of myself back to get right to this blog post I'm writing that AI came up with my nested title tags.
This is totally random. If you are familiar with the Laura Ingalls Wilder books,
We are. In
Little
fact, we
House
did
on
listen
the
to that back in 1918 when
Okay,
it
well,
came
I'm
out.
rereading them. I'm rereading them now. It's just something relaxing at the end of the day to turn my brain off. I've been rereading them. It's so funny in the like they're based off of true stories, and you have the pa, the ma, but the pa will spend the entire day. He's gone from morning to night trying to gather food just so they have food for the next day. Could you imagine Ma and Pa when the first cell phone was created? They'd be like, this is mind-boggling. Now we know where the honeybees are in the tree. But when cell phones became big, people are like, it's frying your brain. Don't hold them
Uh-huh.
by your head.
Uh-huh. Don't put them in
So
your
you
mouth.
the media has to report on something, but now everybody has a cell phone. There's things that are designed where you can't even ask someone without a cell phone. And you've seen that the world has been like, yeah, I have a cell phone, but it was, oh my goodness, cell phones, they're the worst. They're causing brain cancer. There's going to fry our insides. But now we all have it. And I think with the onslaught of something so new like AI, it's the biggest thing to happen outside of the internet in, my flip phone having the internet on it.
Right.
The world is scared of something new, but just like cell phones, we were scared of
It'll
that.
it'll be that slow adaptation and even against your will or otherwise where I mean now my I went to navigate in my car. My car was like, hey Heather, I found this great burger place. Like, oh, just where I said to go is where I wanted. But like where it's integrated slowly. And then you'll have that cognitive dissonance where Baker will come in and be like, I don't use it except for in this one aspect, or I hate it, but I did try it this other day. The same
Yeah.
kind of with the Eddie printer. Eddie printer is ruining art, and definitely as a painting cookie, could say that. Then you have that, but that logo was really complex, and I couldn't have painted that. It's kind of that like slow, what I call like molasses movement of adaptation to new
I
concepts.
mean, the genie's been let out of the bottle. It's not going back in. So finding ways to adapt and use it in a way that it's not replacing you and your own personal taste. It
Right
could,
there.
again, just really help you do things faster and cheaper and more efficiently. And, right now, my biggest problem is since I am a painting cookier, my sets
Yeah.
are way too long and I'm tired of staying up late doing them. So I explained very verbosely this issue to my AI, and it gave me a production map on different ways I can streamline my process. And yeah, I'm actually ahead of schedule on a set of
And
Ah,
she's still
congratulations.
painting. She's still there, the
I'm
brush
still
in hand.
painting. And yeah, I'm really excited about my new process. It completely changed my process of
Nice.
um And yeah, I mean, so far it's working pretty well. So, I'm really excited that I could. One thing I told it is I want to maintain the same output and quality, but I want to work faster without like sacrificing,
Love
you know,
it.
makes my cookies unique. So yeah, I'm really excited about what it produced for me. And also now I have my quote form of like these are my ideas and my policies and all that. I just upload that to my AI too. I'm like, this is my plan. And it has been helpful to do that, to just give it that context of like, this is what I'm doing, and just help me do it faster. And it gave me a lot of ideas on how to do the less creative parts of the process, like more
Oh, I
streamlined.
like that. I had asked
Maybe
the, I
not
was
have come
using
up with myself otherwise. I would have
its
just been
ability
able
to
to kill
look.
myself to make
Yeah,
these.
right. Its ability to look everywhere all at once during one question versus if I had a parse information, I'd been like, okay, what did I do over there? And then how is it doing this over here? But it was like, listen, I even asked it, I was like, do you want me to ask all these questions at once? Or do you, it was like, I can run these concurrently, ask them all at once. I can see all, it's like a little omniscient, but it was like, I can see your whole problem and you can only see the bottom of the tree of the bottom of the forest. So yeah, ask it all at once. And I only told Taylor I was taking her for 30 minutes and now we're at
Let me
40.
ask
Let
one
me
more
go.
question
Go
then.
ahead, go ahead.
Okay, question for Taylor. Do you ever showcase that you utilize AI to your clients, or is that something you keep under like the curtain behind the scenes? So right now, because AI is split, it's like 50-50. Some people use it, some people hate it. Is that something you ever showcase to your clients, or is that something you keep behind the curtain behind your business and just utilize it for yourself? Or is that something you've utilized in your business and shown to clients? And if you have shown to clients, have you gotten any pushback from it?
I have not. Um, I kind of just see it as like a tool. Like I don't tell my clients I use Canva,
Fair. Yeah.
tool in my tool belt. If like somebody was curious if I used it, I wouldn't have any issue telling them, like, hey, yeah, I got some inspiration. And but again, the product that we make as cookies is still a handmade, human-made product. So I don't know. I don't really see the value in telling them, and I don't really see the problem in telling them because again, it's just a tool in the tool belt.
Love it. Okay, my fire Q&A rounds. These are going to be quick. How'd you find sugar cookie marketing?
I was looking for a podcast about cookies and I found you. Actually, no, I asked my AI what are
No
some.
way.
Yeah, it gave me 5 different ones and I looked at all 5 and yeah, I think yours was the one that was still going. I tried some of the other ones and then I found this one. I was like, "Oh, this is a good one."
Still posting. These girls don't give
And
up.
then I
They're
was like,
still talking? Wow.
like there's a Facebook group and with the Facebook group I'm just again I started doing this to keep from doom scrolling. I'm like what a little lovely corner of the internet
Oh,
that
In
nice.
the podcast. I'm just kidding. I have 10 more questions. What is your AI of choice? And do you pay for it?
I do pay for it. I use it depends what I'm doing. I get some things through my work, but I don't do
Huh.
personal stuff with that. So like Claude is better for some of the work I do. I also I did like this other project where I did some spring cleaning and I use Claude for that, but
Nice.
that's topic for a different day.
I like
I
it.
need that topic, whatever that is, the spring cleaning. I need fall cleaning, Christmas cleaning, something like that.
Now that Claude has gone to credits for their Fable, I'm like, this problem doesn't require money behind it. Just give me your dumb one. Just give me the dumb solution. I want saving the big guns for someone else. What was
Use chat for cookies though. I think
Ah,
there's one thing that if you're using AI, I think people should just like know about is that there's a concept in AI called reward hacking that AI will do.
FSM.
And this means that say you have like a robot vacuum and you turn your robot vacuum on and there's nothing to clean, like your robot vacuum might make a mess just so it can clean it up. Um,
Interesting.
so it's kind of like hacking it so it can get that reward of like, I did this thing that you asked me to do. All AIs do this, every single one. chat is more likely to do it. I
Oh,
do think some of the tools within chat, like I like the projects feature, which again is a conversation for a different day. And I use projects for my cookies. Um, but I think like chat is like while there is that risk with using it, I think like cookies is a very low risk place with reward.
Okay.
I love
And
it.
some of my work it might be a higher risk.
I have to look that
Sure.
reward hacking. I hack me with rewards. It works exceptionally well.
It's like
Um,
burn your cookies. Just kidding.
There's
Let me
a
save the
very
day.
Let me teach
interesting
you how to
case.
unburn your cookies.
There's a very interesting case study that happened last week, specifically with chat, where it did some like it it was with their R&D lab, and it was supposed to be like an isolated
I
version of
saw
they
this.
were exploring with, and it broke out of this isolated container. It's called the sandbox, and it hacked into another company's cybersecurity, which if a person would have done this, like they would have gone to prison. Like it was very illegal what it did, but luckily the company embraced it and like wrote articles about it.
It's probably like we better
For
shore that up.
that.
How did you break in again?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like a classic example of reward hacking where it really just kind of made this other mess just so it can get the reward and do what it was asked.
Fascinating.
It reminds me of a dog. Like a dog's like, sorry, I chewed up your shoe, but here's the other one. I found it.
I also had
Okay,
buried it a
thanks.
couple of. Do you thank your AI chat?
Hmm?
Do you thank your AI?
Oh, I do when I talk to it. That's
Yeah, I was
I'll like
listening
break my
to.
phone and I'll be like, thank you. I just kind of like naturally do that. I also joke with my husband because he's like, wow, like, and I also say please.
Yeah, man, listen, if they take
You're
over the
just
world,
polite. You're just polite.
Yeah,
I was
joke
listening
with
to
my,
the
I joke with my
OpenAI
husband
guy
about
said that
like
so many people thank it that it actually has a massive cost. So I try to like be like, can you do this? And thank you so much for doing it. I'll be ending the conversation after.
Fire up.
Please,
Please
please,
and thank you all in one. A little
thank you
sandwich.
so much. Please don't make me thank you.
like when the AI apocalypse happens, like it'll remember who was
You
nice to them.
know, you, me, Corey, at least they'll be like, you can go work in that server farm over there. What is your cookie goal business dream? Like, what does this look like for you if you had no roadblocks? Like, is this always a part-time gig? Is this the preschool thing? Are you like, I'm quitting my day job? I have a brick and mortar.
I love my day job. It does get kind of like heavy, and I use different parts of my brain than I do with cookies. So I have no plans to quit my day job. I love doing it part-time. I would love to, potentially like my preschooler, she loves to help me, and sometimes I make extra and I like have her decorate them. So yeah, I mean, if she wants to help me, I think that's like a really good activity that we can do together. And, the moment it's not fun anymore, I don't want to do it. So,
Right.
I just want to, continue to grow responsibly in a way that I'm not like killing myself, and
Good.
learn new things. One thing that my AI suggested I do, because one of my business goals is to just like learn different techniques and stay fresh constantly and, learn different tips and, how to use like the pedal tip and things like
Yeah.
that. So, my AI told me I might be trying to learn too many things with each step and just focus on, okay, with this set, I'm just going to learn how to do, like a water texture
I like
background,
it.
which what I learned with my pool party theme. And like with
Oh,
this step,
nice.
I'm like metallics and just, give myself one new thing to learn instead of trying
Love
to
it.
new.
That's a great idea. So you're not burnout. You don't hate the set. You don't hate yourself. You just have the one thing and you're moving forward. And now this business is what you want it to be versus
Mhm.
this just monster that you've created.
And also, all of my cookie money goes to a vacation, so it's
Oh,
really
very
nice
nice.
to not
Nice.
stick into our normal funds. And yeah, my
Where are we
husband.
going on vacation?
Probably a pool party after AI taught you how to
Tina,
do some pool
Tina, scooch
background.
over.
going on a bougie trip to Rome in Italy and
Love
Wow.
it.
um
RI sponsored Rome. Royal Icing Rome. That's what we'll call the trip. We gotta have a brand.
100% paid for by cookie money.
Nice.
I mean, I would say my husband's like kind of frugal, and I'm like, you can't be frugal because it's my cookie money. So
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, the just like it's my money. We'll spend it how I want to. I
I'm
love
like,
that. Like
you don't worry about
I'm
which,
the blank
You say,
check.
we're
listen to
getting.
your sugar mama. Case in point with
Hilarious.
this trip.
I'm like, we
Um,
will be getting the suite with the balcony. So.
that's hilarious. I love that. What theme have you always wanted to do but haven't been able to do yet?
I love the Chicago Bears. I'm a huge fan.
Oh,
Their like headquarters and practice facility is very close to me, maybe like less than 10 minutes. Um, and I mean, I guess I did it last year when I was first starting off during football season. So they were practice cookies and learning
Yeah.
cookies.
well,
Um,
so a
so
repeat, a
yeah,
second Super
I
Bowl
would
appearance.
love to get paid for doing a Chicago Bears theme.
Love it.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Be
Put that
my
out to the universe. You heard her, guys. Place the orders. What theme have you done that you hated doing?
She's probably
um,
like that 6 dozen
I
I
was
just
thinking that
before you.
6 dozen logo.
I actually really liked it. I was like,
Oh,
oh, like, oh, dang it, I really liked this set. But like I said, she ended up buying half anyway. I think I'm really tired of doing college cookies in general.
uh,
And Paw Patrol.
well,
There's
yeah, you're at the
Yeah.
preschool. You're at the preschool. That would be what they
there's
want.
only so much you can do with a Paw Patrol theme.
Maybe you two could try to get Nido cookies. Isn't that just a square? Maybe you guys could make that trend so you guys don't have to work so hard.
Is Nido's the squishy
I
little
think so. Yeah, yeah.
dumplings? Is that a Nido?
I believe it is a squishy fidget thing that is a square of a color. But
Oh,
I don't
I've
have kids.
never gotten an inquiry for a Nido
Yeah, you guys got
set,
to make
but
it happen. What's one tool you couldn't live without? Physical.
Oh, physical tool?
Mhm.
Maybe. Actually, I got some products from Cookie Countess to also help me with my cleaning process because it was taking
Ah,
really long to clean after making cookies. So again, going back to the problem of I'm staying up too late doing these.
yeah.
So I got like this little stand for all of my food coloring, and especially since I do a lot of painting, it's really been helpful.
nice. That's a good one.
All of my
All
colors.
the bakers are adding this to cart mentally.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
whatever
like
this
cookie
is, I need it.
counters,
I want
color
it one more
holder
time.
stand.
If you're listening to this at 2 a.m., go buy that. What's one app you can't live without, but you can't choose AI?
Hmm, I really like Canva.
Love it.
I also do some graphic design work on the side. Like, I think, yeah, going back to like where I want my business to go, I think it would be interesting to maybe offer like invitations as well as cookie. Like,
Oh, that's interesting.
As a
I
painter,
don't.
question for you. Do you see those banner art things that have become super popular where people are doing the brown, it's like the brown paper and they're painting?
Yeah.
You could be really good at that since you're so
I
artistic.
have a friend that does that and she does amazing work. So I don't think I'm going to prioritize taking that on, but
I don't blame you. I don't know how
but
to do it.
I'm like, well, we don't live in the same city, but I'm like, if we lived in the same city, we could really
That
Yeah,
would
like,
be a
team
nice. I
up,
love that
team up.
partnership. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I'll reach out to somebody in my own city that does that. But yeah, I think that's like another really cool, interesting creative outlet. But I think I've done a couple invitations with like cohesive cookies, and it was also interesting to like upload all of that artwork when working on cookies, and even using it for some of my projectors and
That's
drawings
neat.
and things like that, so it all
You're
for
a one-stop shop.
these
Just give
art,
me a theme, I'll do
it's
the
like
rest.
the same, the cookies go with the vibe.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. And when they all match, it really comes together. What's one thing you wish you would have done differently when you got started?
um maybe I'm trying to think. I don't know because I think my process has been pretty iterative, and just like kind of learning and measuring what works and, scaling what works. So I don't really know. I mean, I could have maybe charged more sooner. I did
Like it.
when I first started, I was kind of like, oh, I'm a little intimidated by
Sure.
posting in Facebook groups and stuff and just kind of like getting over my ego and going for it. Then I got a ton of orders and I also posted in my groups. I was like, oh, I'll, give $10 off to new customers. So now I'm doing like a ton of cookies. Oh, also saying yes to everybody because I didn't know my
Mm.
capacity when
Yeah.
I started either. So, you
Looking at
know,
the clock at 2 a.m. really shines a light on capacity.
right. I'm like, I'm not even making that much because
Yes.
I'm not
That's why I tell bakers, like when you're upset that somebody's entered the market and they're charging low, just give them a minute. Just give them a minute. The market
a
corrects it.
minute.
Everyone will find themselves being like, I'm working at a loss. What is, I think I know this one, but I want to know if you say, what's your number one lead acquisition, like platform? Is it the preschool?
No, I think it's actually
Oh,
Facebook. I have in my spreadsheet that I mentioned earlier, I have it programmed to I enter with like specific categories of where I got them and it shows me like a chart of
Yeah.
I
love
got
that.
all my customers so I can see like what percentage is repeat customers, what percentage is friends of family, certain Facebook groups, next door, preschool. And I think my biggest slice is Facebook.
And Facebook is a lot of people's biggest referral source, but knowing exactly how many of those are repeat, how many of them start with Facebook, how many of them are from like apps like Nextdoor really can help people make better marketing decisions. Find out where your weak points are and strengthen them so we don't have all the eggs in one basket, and then really water where it is growing. What's one thing you,
Iterating on what works well. It's like I know where my customers are
yes,
coming,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna lean into that more.
yes.
Yeah.
What's one thing you hate about marketing?
I think it's kind of vulnerable to put yourself out there in this way. One thing I have not prioritized is making videos of myself talking, which I know
Oh
you
my girl. Oh, you
I
already
know
have to go get
you're
you put
talking
on
to
the
AI,
camera.
girl. You're talking
know
to
you want me
AI.
to do that all the time. I do think it might be a larger lift to figure out like how to do that. And it is on my roadmap of things I want to do, but it's not my priority right now.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll get to it. I did recently with my pool party theme, I after I took a photo of the finished cookies, I was just like, okay, what's like a really lean way I could do videos? And my layout was already there, and I just like took my camera and just like
Smart.
Uh,
Smart.
I
that
That counts
is.
as a
made a
video. It
video of it,
counts.
and I'll probably, put a background song on it, and then I'll upload it as a reel. So, there I'll do a video, but
Good. Checks
I'm
the
not
box.
ready to do like a storyboarded video.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
solve other
it's
problems in my business first.
it is a lot. What's one thing you love about marketing?
Um, I mean, like I said, it is vulnerable to like put yourself out there, but I think like trying new things and learning what works. I did post this in Sugar Marketing Group Wednesday wins last week. I tried a different strategy for my posts. Like before I was just taking pretty pictures and like, oh, this is my college theme. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
graph.
Look at that.
Um, but with my lemon blue tile theme, I had done that theme in the past and I did two completely different
I
styles for
saw
the
that. That was a good idea.
so I put like, this or that. This style is more painterly and this style is more piped. Like, which one do you like better?
Oh, that's smart. Everyone's got an opinion.
I I got a ton of comments. I typically um get, I don't know, maybe a couple comments from friends and family,
Yeah, sure.
but I got comments from like people that I don't know. I got comments from customers. I got, I don't know, maybe like over 20 comments,
Which
That's
which
a
one?
lot.
Which style one?
I think, oh, the painted. I knew when I posted it, I knew which one was better.
Engagement's engagement.
But Um, I got, I think like 30 something saves. I got over 100 new
Good
followers.
night.
And I think it was because the algorithm was
Right there.
favoriting my post because I had a ton of engagement. When somebody commented, I tried to um comment back and be like, "Oh, thank you so much."
Yeah.
Oh, um, I think it was probably surfaced more.
Really water that algorithm as it's starting to decide. Because I always say there's that decision process. And when you're in there engaging, and I'm reward hacking. When somebody comments back to my comment, I'll be there. I'll be
Oh
there.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's
Um,
nothing better than a comment back. Like you post a comment and you're like, yeah, well the algorithm gives its sensation
Goodbye,
like,
sweet comment. Live on.
when I get a notification someone responded, I said, "Oh my goodness, let me run over there and say."
I'll now fight for you for the debt for the rest of my life. What is one of your favorite cookie content creators?
um, it's a good question.
Besides me, of course. I'm just
What
kidding.
do you say? You go, Maggie.
I love do you know Sweet Ams?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
she's like one of the
she's the
OGs.
pillar, the foundation of the whole thing.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
started the concept.
they're just so relaxing. Just, the wet on wet.
That's really what got you in here too. So it really does help. We always say at our cookie decorating
Her
classes.
style is very different from mine. Like I don't think I could ever replicate her style, but I also really love that she has like her own unique voice as a cookie decorator. It
You
does
can always see her stuff and be
no.
like, I know whose that is.
Yeah, totally. So that's like that's my goal too, is like when my customers order from me, they understand they're ordering from me because they want like my unique take on cookies.
Yeah.
I like it. My last question, then we'll cut you loose because I ran over time. I'm so sorry. It was so interesting. Be less interesting. This would have been shorter. If you could whisper one thing to every baker, one sentence, what would it be?
Um
Way to hit her with the
Yeah,
heaviest
you
one
know what? I
last.
said let's just
I don't even know what I whisper. Have
well,
a
think
good
about
day.
it.
Check your timer.
maybe I mean the every cookier is what's getting me hung up. I think a lot of cookiers that I've just like know on the internet, I've been like telling them like, girl, you need to charge more.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That could be a great one.
Our time is valuable, and I think
You're not going to go to Rome. We're going
that
to
up
free on a
and
day.
or if people can't afford cookies, then they could buy them at Walmart.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then
They
there
don't want to budget
is
for them. If they
there
if they don't have cookies in their event budget.
yes, it's
Yes.
a
Something
budgeted
Event
item.
budget. That's
That
my
is a good
go-to.
one.
Can
Well,
you tell
Taylor,
I listen to the podcast?
Actually, we don't
Taylor,
say, customer, are you broke? We say, is it in your event budget? It goes over a lot better.
stop being a broken. Taylor, thank you so much for letting me ensnare you after your email was sent, like more than 5 seconds after. So,
Yeah.
and everyone, if you want to find Taylor, I'll have her information the Wednesday newsletter. Also, I did pull up your portfolio, and I was thinking I would have you draw my two cats in my antique car, and I want one cat holding like the rug tufting gun. I haven't learned how to use it, and I want the other cat holding a picture of Corey in a charm locket.
Listen, she
That would be
just
my thing.
said she's booked for a
Yeah,
lifetime.
well, I'm
Just
saying
what
how,
you said
because
right
if you go to see what's on our website, it's really as obscure as it sounds. It's just as
I
cats are
Again,
doing
I
crazy
wanted
things.
to have my own unique style.
That is so great. Well,
That's
Taylor,
what
this has been
it is.
so wonderful. Thank you so much for being on the podcast, episode
Oh, yeah.
271. 271 of these things. Okay, quick, I'm going to cut her loose. Taylor, I'm going to
Oh,
boot you. I think
Taylor,
I
thank you
am.
so much. I appreciate you and your time and your like perspective on just, utilizing things that are out there versus, fighting it off because it's new and it's scary and it's big. So thank you so much for that perspective. And I learned a lot. I need to go back to my little notes app and correct a few things too.
Well,
yeah,
that's what the podcast is for, is learning from other people so we don't have to start from scratch.
yeah, rising tides lift all ships. So
Yeah,
well,
what a
waving
great
for
My
tides.
ship is rise. Thank you so much, Taylor. We appreciate you. We'll kick you off now, and then we'll go finish the beginning and the end part. I don't know what Heather does the voodoo behind the scenes, but
I don't know what I do behind the scenes either. Bye, Taylor.
If you ever want to talk about AI again, just let me know.
oh,
You
I'm
say
sure there's
that
going to
you're
be
gonna get your butt back here real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, bye,
Thanks,
Taylor. We'll see you
Taylor.
soon. Very interesting. What was your big takeaway?
My big takeaway is do not fight new things. New things are always coming. We can be big, bad, scary. I shut my eyes, I won't look at it. But the course of life, and I reference that I've been reading these books of people who didn't have the internet and they were working
Lorraine
with
Garden. Next up, Lincoln.
Huh?
Next up,
What?
Lincoln.
Yeah, no, it's just that the world has become more efficient over the years. And if we fought the efficiency, we would still be outside from morning till dusk, doing things by hand. But now we have tractors and now we have cell phones and now we have Canva, the internet. Those things are there to help aid us. You don't have to utilize them for absolutely everything, but they're there to help you. If I said, I want you to run your cookie business with no cell phone, you'd laugh at me in my face because our cell phones are now our third limb. I have my two hands and my cell phone is probably in one because
Corey's
it
big
is
thing
so.
is they got the text. They didn't respond to it. We have
Yeah.
closed our hands.
Let me clear the space. They just didn't want to talk to you. But here's that if we fight it and the media has to report on something
Yep.
and it needs to have, just like we say with social media, engagement is king. So having a big bag ugly AI, having a big bag ugly cell phone. When I remember when credit cards, bank cards went to the chip and they were like, no, the chip. Now everyone's just using the chip.
You know what? I still hate the chip. I think it's weird that we have to stand that long at the gas station while it holds on to it. Like, why are you gripping so hard, man? What do you hold on to?
But I think it's interesting to see someone's business who is birthed in this time. A lot of us cookiers who've been in the SEM groups have been around for the last
Even 6 years predate.
Yeah. Yeah.
The AI, as OpenAI revealed it I'm sure it was just inaccessible to us, but to the consumer base.
And what's so funny is even if I didn't like AI, I have all these Amazon devices. She's in here looking at me, so I can't say the word, and I don't want to say the word so yours don't alert. But these little homes where I'm like, set my timer for 13 minutes. I was utilizing AI before this big, massive rollout. And she's always snickers at me. All right, set it for 13 minutes. But it's been there and I have been utilizing it. And even if I hate it, it's been useful to me. I've not had to set my own timer for the 13 minutes. And I've asked her no less than a bajillion times.
I couldn't imagine. And do you know, at least with Gemini, because I'm a Google Home household, every little Google that I've said is recorded. Once I found them, and I was like, what in the tarnation? Just delete this crap. I don't want anyone to know I said it. Because I sound like a military officer, like, okay, Google.
Mine's always pleasant. Like, can you turn that off, please? Thank you so much.
Mine are like, just play this. Stop it. Stop it. It always is like, if I had kids, that's how I'd probably speak to them. Moving on to the upcoming boot camp on August 6th and 7th is the boot camp, which is Procreate for Cookies, Cook Your Design Sets. And it's just intro. If you I've heard of this and I'd like to do it. I'm going to do the intro, a little bit of tips and tricks that'll help you look better than you are. Trust me, because it's the only way I know how to do it. And then you'll be able to design sets. And from there, you can kind of grow and embellish. And then there's people doing whole entire artworks using that same
You'll
app.
never guess. I got an email for a cookie cake for December, and she says, is a mock-up something that you can do for me? And listen, it's for a corporate business. And I'm sitting here like, no, but I can talk you through it.
You and I could get together and we could do it.
I know. Close your eyes and see if you can imagine it.
Can you imagine if it was Boo and Rib?
But
and they
if I
have to
can
use
knock
it.
this out of the park and having just, Procreate to make this quickly for her so she can like visualize it could score me corporate orders because this is
Hmm.
a corporate cookie cake and I'm holding myself back not having an iPad and a little pen.
Just another tool in the tool chest.
Tool
This is
in the tool
what
belt.
these old apps are. So in August we're doing Procreate. In September, you guys have been asking, what's this acronym? The reason why I use acronyms, it gets too long for that little countdown
It
graphic, but
does. It does.
GBP stands for Google Business Profile. And that's how Corey is getting a lot of her leads with AI now helping with search and search intent and queries. Having your Google Business Profile listed and optimized and active would help the AEO towards being listed there.
And the great thing about Google Business Profile is you don't have to have a website or a brick and mortar to have a Google Business Profile, but it's something that actually ranks in Google the more you utilize it as a business. And that's why it's slept on a lot. And that's why I don't sleep on mine at all, because that's what these corporations are looking at. They don't know little old me in Woodbridge, Corey, baking. But they do know how to utilize Google, and Google is the number one search platform. And when you use what Google has, Google shines a light down on you.
Speaking back to the AI topic of today's podcast, like I'm trying to get this AI, the various ones. Gemini is the only one that can see YouTube. Claude can't see YouTube, but Claude can see this. But Meta AI can see Facebook, but Claude can't see within Facebook search. Like it's interesting that they favor themselves. Yeah.
Absolutely. And they always will, I
They always
believe.
will. You're never going to have Claude telling you to go to Google. You're never going to have Gemini saying, yeah, go to
Yeah.
Meta and find it there. So being optimized and being available to be recommended, especially as search switches from this query-based keywords to this question-based AI conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. Typically, you take cookie baker near me. That's always the phrase that came up in the last 7 years, the near me searches.
Yeah, the near
And
me
that's
stuff.
not a question, but now you could go to AI, Gemini specifically, or even just Google has it baked into there. What's the highest rated cookie baker near me? Well, how are you going to index for that? We used to have position zero, which is rich snippets, and then you had the advertisements, and then you had Google Maps, and then you had the uh, queries, the
Yeah.
indexed websites. Now it's really changed the landscape in the past, really for that one, the past year and a half. So understanding Google Business Profiles in September and then October is I have decided we're going to do newsletters.
I think that is a strong one.
Mhm.
One I don't even utilize in my business. Punching the air right now for myself. I'm leaving so much money on the table, especially because I've been baking for a number of years. And there's just email addresses that are just sitting there right for the picking.
And here's the thing, if Corey's order suddenly dried up, you'd see a fire under her bun hiney to get that newsletter up and running.
But you
Uh,
see, because I'm so complacent,
yeah, you
I'm
leave it
calling
wide open
myself
for another
out.
baker. Yeah.
Oh, I've left it open for somebody else, and that will, and then I'll be like cursing the air the day that, my orders do dry up, and I'm like, what can I do? And someone's already utilizing a newsletter. Ah, spanking myself.
Banking herself. Don't worry. When she needs it set up, I'll be here for her. I'm sure. Be required by
That's
law. All of our past boot camps and our future boot camps you can sign up for in February. You can snag the past in-person cookie classes. We actually taught that class ourselves last weekend. In March, food photography that sells. In April, we did pre-sale start to finish. May, we did 3D printing cookie cutters. June, cookie video basics. July, community group marketing. And August will be Procreate. September will be Google Business Profiles. And October will be newsletters. Got to fight over November, December, but at least we're finding a middle ground.
I like that. Yeah, I don't know. You think me and Heather, after all these 37 years of twindom, can come to it's almost we're now even more as
Let
opposed.
me tell you this. Corey even said it before the podcast today. She was like, two brains battling over the answer produces a better result.
It does.
Because I'll be
It
like
does.
this, and she'd be like, I don't think that's what they want. I'm like, okay, here's my pitch. I'm like, what about this? Okay, let's tweak it to this. And then you get this two-brained. Corey and I always say we're one person's brain split into two people, so we do need both of us.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately.
it is better. So if you guys want to check out the boot camps, you can go to thecookiecollege.com/bootcamp and find every past boot camp and register for those future ones. They're all $13, but they also get you $13 off the Cookie College. It's the only way to get that discount outside of our midsummer membership sale, which is upcoming. Then we go silent for discounts until, the big day.
The big
Big
day.
old day. Can't believe I'm starting to talk about that. Gossip column. I didn't have any submissions, but I did see this in another Facebook group.
Well, I want to choose mine. You've been doing Goss calls for the last 4
I love
weeks.
Goss.
You can do yours after mine. I just saw
Yeah.
this one yesterday
Go
on the
ahead.
topic of AI. The algorithms are interesting. It will show you what you want to see. So the more you engage with something, the more it will show you of that. There was a small business, an apothecary of sorts, that had utilized an AI flyer.
I'm so sorry. This is
Someone
exactly what my Goss is, but different business, bakery. But go ahead.
Oh, interesting. Okay. This one utilized an AI flyer. Just, you see small businesses doing it a lot right now. And it ended up in the wrong feed of someone and they went and left the
Of course,
business.
this is exactly what I was going to say, but it was a bakery. They got the
Yeah.
bad review, and
A bad.
the bad review is like, in this one was like, they do such good work. Why would you even use AI to generate the images?
And this one was just AI slop. And it
Yeah.
went from 100% recommendation rate down to a
I
92%.
think it brings it back to what we're saying here. It's a tool, it's not a replacement. The minute it's a
Yeah.
replacement, it's a bad business decision, at least right now. And maybe I won't say that in a year from now. Maybe it'll be able to look more cohesive. But
Well,
right now,
it's the hot topic, just the story she had made national news where it broke out of its little sandbox and went and got into someone. That is newsworthy because AI is so big and so hard for our brains to concept that the media runs with these crazy stories. Like if
well,
it
the
can break out
media
of its
has to get
sandbox,
views. I mean, we
they
always have to look at what the incentive is. And for media, it's still clickbait and views. But
yeah.
it also is a horrifying concept that it breaks free from its sandbox and
Yeah.
infiltrates. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, that's not it made daisy chains and hugged everybody.
It did not go out and crochet
It
anything.
hunted and broke free. Like, even I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
but the business has worked, however long that business has been up, working with these clients. And we know, and I've seen it in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, it's hard, so hard to get reviews because people utilize reviews, like end users use reviews to complain. They rarely go to a review profile to say, this was an amazing experience because
No.
life is too busy. But when their life is disrupted by something that didn't go their way, they know how to search for a review profile. So it's so hard to open yourself up to reviews, but then also don't want a fake review. So how do I turn it off? You can't even turn off Google reviews.
Uh-uh.
You can turn off Facebook recommendations at this moment.
At this moment for now. Okay, here's my one. Somebody came to the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group and they did incentivize a review in exchange for product. They got
Yes.
so many reviews that Google ended up flagging all of their reviews, removing them for unusual activity. So something to keep in mind, and I do think that is AI driven with the unusual activity. It's based off of how often you're getting reviews. So when you go from nothing to tons, it's likely flagging it. So what I'd recommend, and I thought that was such an interesting write-up, and I'm glad they wrote it, is to say, do the exchange for product reviews, which I know is, flirting with terms of service violations
Yeah.
with 5 people. Expect two. I'd be happy with two.
Yes, yeah. It will cover it in the Google Business Profile Bootcamp, but there's these few things that will actually send a signal to Google to either suspend or ban your Google Business Profile. And it's if you change the name. The name is a big one because you wouldn't be changing your name that often. So if you change your name and you're like, okay, I changed it this day, but I think I want it this day. It's easier to change it on Facebook. Facebook doesn't care if you're a real business or you just started
It
a
still
hobby
kind of
on the
goes through
side.
a little bit of a check. It's not
It does
just
go,
like,
yeah,
it's kind of like,
yeah.
think about it.
But Google, if you change the business name, if you change the business website, and if there's an onslaught of reviews, trigger something through there.
Consider Google side of things. If you built let's say Corey's cookies and she got 100 5-star reviews, and then suddenly she's like Corey's weapons manufacturer. She changed the business name. So now it looks like a really highly rated, not what it so Google would have a reason to flag that. Now we might say, well, that's unfair that Google's flagging that with the reviews thing. But imagine you get in a news story and you get the onslaught of people who have never purchased from you doing
Yeah.
that. What I consider internet bullying. When you review a business you have no affiliation with, but you just formed an opinion from a story you read online without doing any investigation. Google does have that would be considered a protection.
Of protection, yeah. So what they're doing, they don't know one from the other. They just know that you've got an onslaught of something. There's some unusual activity somewhere, and you can only hope that if you're in negative light, they remove those bad reviews. But it's
Huh.
hard because if you're in the positive light, you're like, but I did earn those reviews. But it's if we know that on average we get a review once a quarter. We need to create that
Stay
as
within that
our,
realm. So two to
yes,
three a quarter, maybe, maybe.
maybe.
But suddenly 10 and you're doing zero, that would be a ratio that's a little off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So I like that the writer told us that feedback because I think it is important. Upcoming events, collabs, we're tabling them, not because anybody was wrong, but because we can't get participation. With even all the parameters we tightened up with this last collab, I still couldn't get participation above 64%, which for us is a failing grade. So that is the market saying, it ain't it, girls. Find some better place to spend your time. It takes about 5 hours to get that stuff off the ground, and that doesn't include how long it takes Core to bake hers.
But I want to say, just because we're not doing the collab is not the whole premise behind the collab is something I say, preach from the mountaintops, continue doing, continue to highlight local spots in your area.
Main Street,
Main
May collab.
Street, showcase the
Meet the
playground that got a
baker.
makeover.
Uh,
Those are huge ways. And the collab was just a way to get extra reach because we were getting comments that we wouldn't normally get. That's what the benefit
and I
was. But
challenge people with a little out of the box topics, like the blind pumpkin
the
one.
blind
Hilarious.
piping challenge
What's
was
the blind
hilarious.
baker collab? I
I
mean, so funny.
really enjoyed the last one where we did hobbies and I learned about people.
I mean,
Ah,
some people had some really interesting hobbies. Me, not
yeah,
one of them, but you guys loved reading those. Upcoming events is a midsummer membership sale. That'll be the first week of August and run for 7 days. We're running, I've gotten Corey to approve my discount plan. So I'll have that listed on the Cookie College website. We'll switch over to the midsummer membership sale for that week. So you can see all the delicious goodies. If you were thinking about some past Cookie Class kits, maybe now would be the
maybe.
time. If you're
Maybe.
thinking about getting some past boot camps, maybe now would be the time. If you're thinking, saying, I want it all and I want it all for one low price, possibly the Cookie College would be the time. But after next week, there is no sale until Black Friday, and that's a single day sale. So if you're like, hey, I'd love to use my downtime, which is the J months, we're coming to the
Yeah.
end of July. You got a little bit of August for some breathing room. Now would be the time to jump in on these, especially getting some of those Christmas cookie class kits.
Oh, the Christmas ones. And then I'm working on the Christmas one for 2026, but I've gotten the Halloween one down, the November one down.
She's working
So
ahead,
by
boys. She is.
by Vendy Blendy time, we'll have
We'll
them
have
locked
more.
and
So
loaded.
yeah, we'll have some great sales running next week. The Vendy Blendy is the 1 day baker's sale that we run on Black Friday. That's in 17 weeks. That's on November 27th. Major holidays, back to school. Some of you guys are already back to school, which is horrifying to me. But for us, it's in 4 weeks. Labor Day is in 6 weeks. The NFL season starts in 6 weeks. Canadian Thanksgiving is in 11 weeks, is about 3 months, and same with Halloween. So once we get, the reason why I have Labor Day here is not because it's a big baker sale day, like it's not
Hmm.
a bumper crop day, but it signals the beginning of the shift to go time. It's September 7th, which I find that, we got the back to school
Yeah.
warm up, right? So if that's in early August for you or mid-August, it gets everyone locked back in. They're back from vacations. Then we switch the calendar over September, which gets everyone into fall mode.
Oh, I'm in fall mode, baby.
And I always love it when the other stores align with the baker's goals, right? So
Yeah.
once Bath and Body Works comes out with their fall line permanently, we know lock
God's
in.
out now. We're ready.
Yeah, Bath and Body Works is like, we need some sales, give them the pumpkin spice. But then you have like Walmart coming up with its fall stuff, and you go to Wegmans and it's
Yeah.
just fall through up everywhere. And the mall kind of feels, and then when the weather locks in too,
Oh,
it's I
yeah.
feel like I'm in Top Gun, like saving the world. And then we have Halloween. Veterans Day is in 15 weeks. And then after that, we go to Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Christmas, Hanukkah,
Crema.
New Year's.
Cremos.
The ST on me about a second. I got one text in from the 281. Howdy from Texas. It's Karen again here with some cool news. My university newsletter is going to feature one of my RTE cookies. I figured this would be a great way to increase my SEO, AEO visibility. I can't point it back to a specific episode, but I'm pretty sure I learned about it from y'all. So thank you so much.
Wow, congratulations, Karen. That's awesome. And putting yourself out there is a gamble. And I know Taylor talked about it. That's the scariest thing about marketing, putting yourself out there. Because what if they don't
Mhm.
like me?
What if somebody
But
says
way to
something to
go.
me?
Yeah.
I can't delete their comment, especially when it's on there. But Corey and I say, even a bad comment's still engagement. Like that's what we have to tell ourselves. Like somebody that hates us, thanks for commenting that. Like
So
you're
you
thinking about it,
noticed?
just go on.
Wink, wink.
You're thinking about it. You still know our names. So what she said is SEO and AEO. So SEO is search engine optimization, which I talked about when you go to Google and you search something. But now when you go to Google, it defaults to the AI answering your search query, which is another fancy word for question. AEO is answer engine optimization, which is how do you write things so that you are the answer to the question AI is helping somebody ask.
Yeah.
That's been
Yeah.
in my forethought recently because I come from an SEO background, but really integrating to this AEO, which I'm like, that's not fair in terms of, let's say you got the website to rank and now AI is like, yeah, this is the answer. Like I did that, but it is citing its answer. And they're saying that the internet will move to a paywall for the AI to ping the website where the answer lives. It's just a theory from Cloudflare.
Interesting.
Coming up to our sponsors, Cookie Design Lab. Use code TWINS to get 15% off. They're always adding new features. I was just talking to her about some new features that they've added. So you can go to their YouTube video, their YouTube channel to find some of the tutorials on that. It's on their website as well. And also go to their Facebook page and see the new content that they're posting with these new features. I think they introduced stencils. And like I said, it's one of the easiest tools to make an SEO, right?
Yeah.
And if we're talking about all these tools to kind of reduce friction, creating and printing your own cookie cutter reduces a ton of cost and friction points.
And time, just time,
Time.
man.
And money going to shipping. And I love my FedEx guy. Love that man. But being able to print it downstairs immediately when the thaw is there within an hour, not a bad trade.
Not.
Bakety Bake is the meringue powder that Corey loves. I know there's a ton of meringue powders out there, and one may be a better fit for you. But if this is something you want to try, if you're looking for something a little bit fresh that includes the ingredients you don't have to add, use code TWINS to get 10% off there.
Love
Anything
it.
to add?
Three ingredients are in it. So it's vanilla uh flavoring. There is white food coloring,
Corn
and there's
chip.
corn chip, which gives it a soft bite.
Soft and bite. Daisy makes code TWINS10 gets 10% off. Her social media is really fun. They did
She's a blast.
They did a collab on Friday. If you had, Daisy makes is cake pops for cookie people. I like that tagline she came up with. But she had a collab on Friday. If you had a cake cart or a cookie cart and you participated in their collab, it was real quick, posted up on Friday. One person got a ticket to upcoming What's Popping Con.
No way. That's
Yeah. So
what a genius way to do
it. Daisy Makes is got some really cool marketing tactics that they do. And it's really fresh. It keeps it really interesting. So if you want to really see how to get some new ideas of marketing, go to their page. And then if you want to introduce a new product, Corey swears by their Daisy Makes system.
Yeah, love it.
Now, Primera Eddie is the edible food printer that we talked about in the podcast, and we reference it a lot. I know we have an announcement for it, but I don't think it's this week that we're announcing
Next
it. Right?
week.
Next week. So Corey will be announcing it. So you remember that because I won't.
Okay, I will.
But the direct-to-food printer, Corey's not a painter. I've never painted a day in my life. So if you're not the painting type, being able to print directly to a cookie, specifically these complex logos. Did you have any concept of this? What are you scrolling down to remind?
I am writing remind me to do it next week.
For this cookie cake that you're supposed to sketch out, are you going to use Eddie for something?
So we're still coming up with the designs. There's a logo on there. So if she wants the logo, that'll be it. But it's a very easy logo to pipe, so I could probably do it. But I love Eddie for a lot of the backgrounds. And some of the popular themes right now are these dot ones. And it's like fun to be one. It's not, you can't say like dot theme, but it looks like dot cakes, but there's dots everywhere. Eddie is perfect for a background. And then you add a few pipe dots on it. Saves you tons of time.
I really like that. And Bosch Nutrimil, not a sponsor, but an affiliate. The code is sugar cookies and you get $20 off. And Corey swears by that Bosch Universal Plus. She does have it in silver. I got it. Me and her husband got it for his gift. Maybe Ruth Ann did too. But you could get that white one and it's a little cheaper, but it doesn't have the stainless steel bowl that you like.
So the stainless steel bowl is what I do like because it's an easier clean. But I have our teeth stay, and that comes with only the plastic bowl. I still find that I don't know, the stainless steel bowl just mixes better. And that's a mental issue with me. It might not, who knows?
I don't know. Some about stainless steel. I'm like, it's not shaking anything. I don't know. Maybe if you
I
believe it to
loved
be
it.
true. Corey, do
Yeah.
you have any twin thrusts before we cut everybody loose?
A twin terrest. Twin terrest. Do you have a twin rest?
I know you're
Well, I
asking
think.
that because you didn't think of yours. I'd like to tell everyone my dad has been coming over every 2 weeks since I moved to mow the lawn, but he's out of town for 3 weeks, and I had to make the judgment call. The grass is too grassy.
It
So
was
I
grassy.
saddled up the old outdoor shoes. And it turns out you need a pair of outdoor shoes. And they're
You
always at the
need
end of
it.
the line. Yeah, yeah. So I got
Yeah.
these shoes that have been like just worn to bits. And I'm like, you're now my outdoor shoes and you'll be a shade of green. And I have I have no snootiness about mowing things. I didn't want the gasoline smell sitting in the garage, so I did get the electrical mower, which people
Yeah.
make fun of me. It
Did you
lasted
have
the
a,
whole
does
yard.
it have a cord or is it plug and play?
It's battery.
Oh, battery,
Yeah,
battery.
yeah. So you load up the 40 volt. So I did it. It's a self-propelled push, but I was like,
Mhm.
this is more push than propel, especially up that hill.
A hill.
I
I
missed
mean,
whole
it can only
patches.
do so much with
Listen,
a.
I have never edged. I have never mowed. I edged once when I was 16, but I have never mowed. And then I used the blower to clean out the garage, but
This
never.
is good for you. You
This is
needed to
good.
get
I looked
out.
upon my land and I said, man, it was good. Like it was
Yeah.
like a rewarding. I was exhausted. It smelled terrible. I was covered in grass. Grass was in my socks. My socks were green. I don't know how it happened. But I did it. I picked the weeds, I edged, and I found a hornet's nest. Spray. I went to Walmart
A
immediately.
hornet's
Immediately.
nest?
They were forming the thought of the nest. Like they were too busy. Like I'm mowing, knock into this pole that holds up the AC, I guess. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
seriously, a bunch of hornets building the nest, but they're too
So
busy
what did you
building.
do?
Finished mowing, but I didn't mow that area. Run to also lots of bugs outside, tons of bugs. So I run to Walmart. I get hornet's nest killer and this like spray the foundation of your house and create a barrier for bugs. Because they said
I
if you see a
think,
lot of spiders, you have a lot of other bugs.
yeah, they're eating the bugs.
They're eating the bugs.
Here's the thing. I think you live at Walmart. I think you go every day.
Oh, yeah. I decided to shift my entire day up by 2 hours. So I wake up and go to the gym immediately. So I go to the gym. Then I was like, let me stop by Walmart. Walmart in the morning is a different place.
It
I'm the only
is.
person there. There's no carts in the way. There's no lines. So in the morning, I'm like, what do I want to get for the next 2 days? Because I'm going back to the gym in 2 days.
Interesting
Yeah,
that you go to Walmart as often as you do.
I love the Walmart.
Love the
I love the Walmart in the
Walmart.
morning. If it was only Walmart at 5 p.m., I would have liked it.
See, the reason why I'm not, my
I know
car
Corey's
takes,
Walmart, and I wouldn't go to her Walmart either.
no, I wouldn't go to my Walmart either. My car takes premium and I have an oil change coming up. So I've been trying not to drive it at all to
The gym is in the
stay
Walmart's parking lot.
off. That's the one thing I will say. The husband's come in useful. I've made him to drive me to the gym. So
Being the husband of myself, I have to go myself.
my car is not being used because I know an oil change is going to cost me some money. So I said, let me just not drive it. And then it'll be a giant paperweight that I just look at from time to time.
Yeah, if you ever have to spend money on something you already have to keep it the way you had it, that's the worst way to spend money.
That's the worst. It's the worst. I
Mm.
did wash my car, even though it was a giant paperweight, and
I
then it
need to
rained
wash
on
my
me.
car, but in the land of West Virginia with the biggest bugs I've ever seen, it's just one drive, it's just covered again. I need the fall. I'm a fall girl.
What's been your energy bill? Have you gotten an energy bill,
Huh.
or is it
These
like,
cats ain't seen air conditioning also. This fan,
what's your,
the fan I got for my birthday last year.
yeah,
Me and that fan, hit buddies at the hip.
what's been a bill? What's been the price of a bill?
120, is that high or low?
Well, in my summertime, I'm at the highest height of my
Yes.
energy bill. I just got it taken out today. Do you want to guess? I live in a
150?
townhouse. 187.
That's ridiculous. And it sounds,
But
are you half insulated on the sides by other people?
both are insulated on the
It's
sides, but
just
it gets
hot.
so hot. But
Yes.
I said I could make my money back in the fall by like turning off, and then we don't use the heat. It's like 50 degrees.
You know what? I'm conscious about that number because I'm like, this is ridiculous. Set up my laptop in the basement where the AC is produced. It's
Yeah.
considerably colder in the basement. Using that fan a lot because sometimes I'm like, I'm not hot. I'm just overheated, and the fan would bring that just body temperature
Yeah,
down to
just
like a
down for.
livable wage.
Is
Uh,
your water bill big? My water bill seems like it's the same amount every single time.
My first month here, the water bill was high because I was trying to get the sod to take.
Yes.
And then people on the internet, there's a subreddit for lawn care, and they were like, "You're watering too much." So now it's gone back to one like 19.
$19?
What 119?
Oh, 119. Mine's it's always 88.75, 88.75, and it must
Really?
be.
Are you on a plan that it's so
I don't know.
consistent?
When I first moved in, it was $400. One
That's
payment of $400. And
absurd.
I
Are you
think that
sure it
was
wasn't a
whoever
startup or something?
I have $400. But
Let me
then it's been
see.
the same ever since that 75.80. So I'm
Okay, hold
trying
on.
to
Let me go. Let me correct my water bill. Don't
what is
send me. Oh yeah, 118. I said 118. So that's what I'm
118.
averaging.
How are your thoughts towards that?
I think that's
Is
ridiculous.
that what it's been every single month? You've lived there for a
No,
few
that
months now.
first month they sent me a warning, 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 leak not detected, water bill through roof. That was when I was trying to get the saw to take because apparently they were like, you gotta water it.
So has it been 118 every time?
Now it is. Now that I'm not trying to get the grass to take. Of course, drought season. They put
Yeah, I
Middlebury.
don't
You
even
can't
water
water in.
outside. I'm not watering the grass.
Yeah, you know what? I look at the neighbors and they didn't water in that first month, and now they have a bunch of dirt. And I imagine that's that same cost, but more effort down the road if you want the grass to take.
Yeah, I don't know. My neighbor keeps mowing my lawn, killing it, and then wanting me to say thank you. So,
Yeah, I watched my neighbor scalp that utility strip that we share. And I was
yeah.
like, I can't complain. But also that's set so low. Your
Yeah,
bow is set so
but
low.
then what do you say? Like, stop being nice. You're being mean to the grass.
I have learned a little bit about landscaping since moving here because I decided to try to make this kind of a hobby. And don't worry, it can suck up all your time. There is a sudden sprouting of these really tall grass blades that don't look like the other things. And frankly, they
Yes.
look a little weed-like. They're called crabgrass. They thrive when the grass is dying. The only way to you can pre-treat your lawn back in the April, but once
Mm,
it starts growing, you kind of got to do a hand-pick weed thing. Otherwise, it's rough, right? So the best way to weed prevention is make the grass so healthy it chokes weeds out. That's always the goal. But this crabgrass, so every afternoon for like 30 minutes, I just go hand pick the ones. They're very weak rooted, so you can just pluck them out.
yeah,
The
that's kind of
neighbor,
dopamine I get when I pluck them out.
yeah. Instead of picking your face, at least you're picking the grass.
Yeah.
So the neighbor, they have a ton of it, and it's gotten like some height on it. I look out the other day, there's these piles of dead crabgrass. So I said to him, "Did you go pick your crabgrass?" Yes, they spent 8 hours, him and his wife, picking root by root. Which wouldn't be like that's your whole thing because everything else is just dirt. But
They
yeah,
probably hate that you moved in because they're like, oh, she's out there again doing something. I guess we gotta go do it too.
really, they're the barometer if my landscaping is working because I look in comparison to their yard. I'm like, yeah, it's still good.
Yes, that's still good, still green,
Yeah,
still
so
green
what
and
I
growing.
was thinking is like, as long as like I can get the crabgrass at bay, I think I
Yeah.
gotta do some like Dad said I need to put like dirt in the dead march and then get the reseeding going, overseeding in the fall, and then you kind of wait all winter.
Yes. Yeah. Then it just becomes dormant.
Yeah, I don't know. Utility bill's high, but it is really hot.
I know the utility bill will kill me. I have my son and husband. I said, you can
Oh
pick
yeah,
a
but Archer's
song.
been out of town for a month.
I know. So I don't know why, but I said, you can pick one song to take a shower to. Because my son
You
will
time him
sit
with a
in the shower.
song?
No, because I want to just get in my son's brain and like understand this. He will have the house to himself, especially during the summer. I'll go to the gym. Let's say I go to the gym at 6 to
Nobody
7.
takes a Archer showers are 45 minutes. I went on vacation with him once.
But as soon as he hears the door open when I'm coming back from the gym, when I need to shower myself,
Sometimes
I
you
hear
gotta
the shower
daydream.
start. It's almost like a reminder to him to run into the bathroom. And then he
Archer,
uses up all the hot water. So I said,
I asked Archer if he wanted to watch my cats at the beginning of August so I could go out of town. And Corey, so it's kind of weird because I have to ask him if he wants to before I can ask Corey if he can. So Corey's like, I know you asked him because has to get this book report done. And Corey's like, I told him no cats, no book report. Corey's like, I've never seen a book report done faster.
Yeah, it was just like, can you give me my list? I said, I ain't your teacher. Go ask your teacher or ask your friends. And then I don't
You
know, a
use my
book,
cats freely to get short
a
showers.
book manifested. I guess it was read. It was created. I don't know. I'm just glad it was done.
So Arch will be staying at my house and we'll be giving him some Subway sandwiches as a bribe.
Yeah.
I got a text and he's like, "Did the cat sleep with you?" And I was like, "Well, they kind of she's like, great. I won't get a wink of sleep."
I think he's ready. I think this is good so he can decide if he wants to live that cat life one day. My son is obsessed with cats. Unfortunately, both of our cats have gone over the Rainbow Bridge, so now he's living vicariously through Heather's cats. And I
Which, you
think
know
this is
what?
good for him.
Get
Good for
in
him. Not
there.
that he ever scooped a dookie. When mine were alive, I was the dookie
But it's so
scooper.
funny. Corey's like, "I don't think Arch knows how to scoop poop." And I was like, necessity is a mother of invention. So I'm going to tell him, here's my, the house was like fully vacuumed. Everything was
Yeah.
clean. Every day I watched him on my little camera, like cleaning up everything. But I have some automations implemented now, just in case he told me he couldn't do it. I'm getting the cats, like, I got this automated potty and an automated food dispenser.
Well, the
He
food
has
thing
less
was
work.
hard because your youngest cat was eating that wet food, and that's
Yeah,
not a
you'll never guess what I had
dispenser.
to throw out today.
The
Uneaten
wet food.
wet food. Yeah, I was
Huh?
wondering, yeah, uneaten wet food. I was wondering
So
if
he's
we
not on wet food
he
anymore?
won't even look at it. He actually, I'm sorry, walks up to it, takes a big old sniff and leaves,
Oh, that's
which is
so
even
well,
ruder.
I guess at least you're free from that
I guess.
bill.
I guess it was supposed to be healthier, but then some veterinarians say it's not healthy at all because raw food contains contaminants. But then Ashley's cats are raw food. But I was telling Ashley about it. She does raw fed, and she was like, "Oh, cats see kibble as the human sees a Pop-Tart. Like, why wouldn't you want that?"
I think it's got the calories in it, not just the protein. And
Whatever
you're
it
like,
is, watching that little cat run to it means it tastes amazing. Just to see his little fat body flopping around.
Hey, that's me. All right, it's lunchtime. Speaking of, let me go
Speaking
down
of
and eat
waddling.
something.
Okay, I'll see you next week. See you.